Musical Monday. Musical Monday.
Never say never.
Unless you're banking on forever. Musical Monday.
Hello and welcome back to Musical Monday with Zach and Shae at ImprovBroadway. I'm Zach.
I'm Shae.
And we're at ImprovBroadway. And joined with us, of course, we've got the one, the only, Caleb on the keys. And our first ever guest,
Ooh.
Sammy James Wright.
Hello.
Samuel.
Samuel?
Yeah.
Oh, Samuel.
Sam, I'm so excited to have you on the show because you are a lover of the musical genre.
Oh, absolutely. Can't get enough of it. Love it to death, embarrassingly.
And Shae and I love obscure musicals, but you go deep.
Very deep.
The musicals you love and have heard of, we haven't even begun to conceive of hearing about before.
They're underground.
Yeah, and that's actually very fitting for today's musical selection that we're bringing up.
Please,
Banking on Forever.
Banking on Forever. Oh my gosh, I think one of our YouTube fans, Emma Roof, suggested that. It's so awesome that you loved that underground musical as well.
It is so niche. Now, a little background for this. You know, Broadway has been trying for a long time to really make the vampire musical work.
Too long, some would say.
Yeah, they've tried
Dracula.
There has been a Dracula musical, Dance of the Vampires, Interview with a Vampire, and they just can't seem to get it to work. But one time, they made it work so hard. They made it work so hard and so well.
And we only like hard workers over
We only
here.
like hard, well-working musicals. And this is it.
And I read some of the reviews, and it says, this works so hard. And that was almost the unanimous review from all the early reviewers.
It worked so well that they closed after one performance because there was no reason to do it again.
They were so afraid to taint it.
And conservative Americans were so sad because they thought, if there's a hard-working musical, I want to go to it.
What, another musical unemployed? Gosh darn it.
And it's just such a unique take on vampires because it asks so many hard-hitting questions like, what if vampires did banks?
Which I have been asking myself
And
constantly.
the closest thing we've ever seen is within Harry Potter, with that special creature doing bangs. The creature, of course, I'm talking about are goblins. Mm-hmm. The closest they ever got to it, but even J.K. Rowling, she backed off because she didn't want to go into this controversy.
She was afraid of going too hard and too well. Because it's just when the opening number begins and it's just the main character of Drac Jr. Drac Jr. and he's doing what he loves the most, which is going over small business loans with the people who come in. Right. And it's such a soul-crushing job for most people, but vampires don't have souls.
So they excel at it.
They excel and thrive.
And how old was Drac Jr. again?
Drac Jr. was a young 325.
So there's a lot of vibrance and youth in the song.
Yes,
Naivete.
Naivete, even.
Naivete or fulfillment.
The performance leaves it up to interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful song called "I Love to Count."
Very good. 1 bank loan, 2 bank loan, a 3 bank loan, and 4. 5 bank loan, 6 bank loan. Please, give me more. I love to check the background check when you apply for a loan. Because my job, I have made it mine. I've made it my very own. I like to count every figure that comes through the door. And it doesn't impact me at all because I don't have a soul. I love to count 1, 2, 3. I love to count 3, 4, 5. I love to count. This is not a rip of Sesame Street. Hey, Mr. Sir, would you like a loan? No problem. Just come right in. And if you say that you're not qualified, I won't take that attitude. That's a sin. I will pre-approve you for $400,000 if you agree that the appraisal is waived, and we will go and find you a property, and your home will be saved. I love to count. A 1, 2, 3. I love to count with you and me. Oh, I love to count. A sympathy. Oh, I love to count 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3. Bleh.
You know, it was the opening number, and people were already just floored by how hard it was.
I heard the actor himself, he passed out after that first song after how hard he went.
It's the only show where, in the history of Broadway, where they had to have a new actor play the same role in every scene. Because it just required so much of the performers that one performer couldn't keep it up for an entire evening.
Oh.
PBS tweeted, "All work and no play makes this musical exist."
Which was really difficult to do because this musical came out in 1992.
They went back in time.
Yeah, they invented this technology that sent 140 character text to every single brick Nokia phone of the day.
It's amazing how this musical just brought out the best in everyone and made everyone just give their hardest.
Everyone went hard after they saw this musical.
It was the hardest that New York has ever been. And it
ever will be.
You know, it led to a golden age of New York. You know, Times Square used to be a really run-down, grimy, gross place, but banking on Forever was a turning point.
You know, at one point the mayor was like, I think it's time we shut down New York. Let's everyone get out of here. And then they saw this musical and they said, let's give it one more try.
And the rest is history. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man, I can't wait to hear more about this musical.
Well, okay. Tell me all the things you know about vampires.
They can't be in direct sunlight.
Okay.
They don't like garlic.
They have sharp teeth.
All right.
Killed by a stake.
They hate Christians.
They love to prey on young women.
Okay.
Some could turn into bats or mist.
Mm-hmm.
They have wings. Well, imagine it.
No, well, you know, that was the one detail that this show went hard on. Was that, no, you know, wings, we got them 24/7 all the time. And they make us better bankers. And that comes up in this next song when Drac Jr. is taking his human lady for a night on the town. It's kind of a whole new world kind of scene, you know, where he's showing her the wonders of his hometown of Bridgeport, Connecticut, which is where all American vampires are from. And, you know, he's flying with her with his human-like bat wings, showing
What
her.
What makes them human-like?
You know, the skin.
It's just fleshy human skin?
Fleshy human skin. But
how did they pull that off in the production?
Oh, very difficult. Very difficult.
I heard that skin grafts were involved.
They were.
Oh,
They
wow.
were.
I heard they took it from dying people, so it was really wrinkly anyways. I hadn't heard of the musical except for that one part because, as you know, it's too deep for us.
Because I heard they took it from people dying of old age who had just gone through weight reduction surgery and had leftover flaps of skin. And so they donated it to the musical. So it was less sad.
You know, how they did it doesn't matter so much as how the song made you feel.
Right, and that's what matters.
And the song is a beautiful song. Could you loan me a feeling?
I can show you some blood. Just let me take a bite. Baby, I'm having so much fun tonight. Walk with me on the sidewalk. Talk with me all the talk. All I'm thinking about is my thing sinking into your throat. A whole new Connecticut. That's all I feel with you. Looking through your human eyes, I know that this is brand new. A whole new Connecticut. My small hometown isn't brown anymore. I see colors through and through. This is the first time for me and you. I know we said we would wait till we got married, but baby, I don't want to. I'm ready to take a bite. I'm hoping you'll say tonight that you want to too. I've got alcohol swabs so it can be sanitary. This isn't intimate, I don't wanna marry you. I just want a taste of that sweet blood. I know that it would taste so good and bring to me a whole new Connecticut. Can you loan me a new feeling for a whole new Connecticut?
You know, oh man, hearing this it just transports me the first time I heard this song. Modern audiences might be a little confused because it sounds like it's a ripoff of course, A Whole New World.
Well, you know
but
what?
the musical came out in 1992, like I
was
said.
just about to say.
And Alan Menken was actually at the one and only performance. And he saw what he regretted that the show would never be seen again and said, this cannot stand. I have to do some kind of tribute to this show. And that became the impetus for A Whole New World in Aladdin.
He's been almost canceled 3 times for this incident.
But you know what? It's just such a good song that people are like, you know what? However we can keep that memory alive.
Please.
And the
It's
composers had gone so hard originally writing it that they didn't have the mental capacity to really sue him when he came out with Aladdin.
They went so hard and so well that they gave up the ghost. And it is hard to sue when you are dead.
They almost became vampires themselves, except for the living part.
Yeah.
And speaking of ends, the end of this musical, if I remember you telling me correctly, is one of the most dashingly beautiful ends to a musical that has ever swept Broadway.
Oh, of course. What's your favorite thing about Banks?
Money.
Oh. Shae, something a little less shallow?
Well, my least favorite thing are the pins that you can't take home with you.
Okay, not my question, but cool.
But my favorite thing is when you feel like they really care about you at Chase Bank. It's the only bank I've ever been to.
Sponsored by Chase Bank.
But when they, sometimes people in those jobs are kind of snarky because you ask questions like, how does a credit card work?
Where's the exit?
But when they're like relatable, a man of the people, and you don't feel like they hate their job, it's heartwarming.
Yeah, I love it when they say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk to my manager about that. They spend 2 minutes in, they come back and they said, we're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
That's the most heartwarming feeling I've ever felt in a bank.
Well, you know, that feeling is perfectly captured in this last song as Drac Jr. decides to take a chance on a new applicant for a loan and extends to him a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for infinite credit.
Is this a parody of Take a Chance on Me by ABBA?
It could be. It could be. Or is Take a Chance on Me a tribute to this song?
I mean, early drafts of this musical span back to the 70s.
And, well, there was only one performance, but it was in previews for a decade. It took a while for them to get hard enough.
But they finally got hard.
But they did.
Once they did, it was all over.
One day they just woke up and said, I think we're hard enough.
Let's do this. Curtains up. Yes, in this beautiful final song, infinite credit.
Let me just recap really fast. So Drac Jr. is asking another bank loan officer if they can have eternal credit.
It's like you haven't read the synopsis. No, Drac Jr. is approving infinite credit
to an applicant.
To a struggling applicant.
Ah, yes, okay.
Yes.
I remember
Yes.
now.
You have no property. You have no money in your bank. You have no job.
I have no social security card.
You have no family. You have no collateral.
For all intents and purposes, I don't exist.
Don't exist. But that is something that I can relate with. Do you know what I see when I look in mirror?
What?
Nothing. And that must be what you feel like every time you look in the mirror of a bank loan.
Yeah, no prospects.
Well, no more. I'm dead, so I will not live to regret it. But you I will give infinite credit. You can buy any house you want, be it a ghost having a haunt. I don't care, I'll approve it for you. I'll live for eternity. For centuries I'll live without a friend by my side. So I can live on, knowing I have given credit to someone who it matters to. Infinite credit, infinite credit, infinite credit for a friend. Infinite credit, infinite credit, infinite credit that will never end.
And then the children's choir comes in, and it melts me every single time. Singing in like their warped Latin. The soundtrack doesn't quite capture the interpretive dance going on during this number as he slowly takes that bite out of her neck. The first and only Broadway show to ever have a splash zone. 6 rows back.
And now you can live long enough to spend your credit. Remember this face, never forget it. You will live on and you will see you live longer than all of your property.
I didn't ask for this.
You didn't read the fine print.
Didn't know what I was signing away.
You signed in blood. You signed in blood. Your infinite credit, infinite friend.
Infinite credit, infinite friend.
Oh, so hard.
Infinite credit, infinite friend.
Or you could just move in with me in the crypt. It's underneath my house. I walk around naked, ripped.
Maybe once the transformation is complete, then you and I could meet at the crypt.
I hope that I don't live to regret it, giving you
infinite credit.
So hard.
Oh my gosh, you know what else is hard? Having to finish this episode.
Yeah.
But that's just what we have to do at the end of every episode. Everything must come to an end. We want to give a big thanks for the folks in this episode. Of course, I've given up for Shae McCombs.
Give it up for Zach and Sam.
Oh my gosh.
And
Thank you.
Caleb.
Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful episode.
Just a round of applause.
Just a round of applause wherever you are. I don't care how late it is. You clap as loud as you can. Hey, if you like this episode, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and share so the people all around the world can hear this beautiful musical brought to us by our friend Sammy James. And hey, it doesn't matter if you're dead or alive, because every day is
Musical Monday.
appraisals.